As we move towards Easter, one of the passages that keeps on coming up in my mind is from the Gospel of Matthew, and it's the chapter 27, which is right after Jesus dies, after he breathes his last. Already the resurrection begins. Their bodies of the saints are somehow raised, and they inhabit Jerusalem, and they bear witness to the resurrection. And this is a huge reminder to me that in the midst of death, even Christ's death, we can find the resurrection. It already is at work in us and working through us, even when we don't see it, even when we're surrounded by things that make us fearful and things that fill us with dread and anxiety and things that fill us with mourning. We know that God is with us. And one of the things that really convinces me that that is so over the past few days has been the work of Flag. And I'm really grateful to have Monica Toomey with me, who is one of the leaders of that organization. Monica, tell us a little bit about Flag.
I would love to. Thank you so much for having me here. So Flag is really a simple concept. It's we collect small donations, but we'll take large ones too. But it started really just, $10, $20 donations. We pool those donations and then we pay local restaurants to prepare and deliver food to the frontline medical community. And so everyone, it's a win-win kind of thing. You have the medical community getting great nourishing meals. They are typically working 12-hour shifts. They're not getting breaks. They don't bring in food typically. So, that's a long time. The cafeterias aren't open at night. So for really, at first we were targeting just the night staff, giving them grab and go type of really healthy meals. And then obviously it helps the restaurants putting money back into the local community. This is a tough time for restaurants, for their employees and feeding their families. And then the side benefit has just been the community. We launched this as a Facebook community, and so it has developed into really something much bigger. It has that spiritual feel to it. It's a place where people can go. They can share family members who are on the front line, ask for prayers. They can ask for their own personal prayers. And you really get this sense of, it gives you a window into what they're going through and really respect. And as we're all at home and feeling very disconnected from each other, it gives you that connection and you understand being home is where you're supposed to be. If you're not on the front line, stay home. And this is a way to give back and help them, but keep them safe.
And your spread, you started locally in Birmingham and Royal Oak and Troy and West Bloomfield, and you are actually now throughout Southeast Michigan. Your ministries are is it 20 hospitals?
It's like 30. There's a lot of hospitals around here. We really were, even out in Ann Arbor, there was a group that was going to start there. No one did. So, we just delivered to University of Michigan this past week. We're talking to the VA hospital there. We'll pretty much, we're going downriver. We are really, wherever there's a need, we're happy to serve, because that's really what this is all about. It's helping those people who are on the front lines, and it is strictly the medical community for us, and we're happy to be able to give back to them wherever they are.
And what I love about it, besides the kind of win-win for the restaurants and for the staff that are doing such incredible heroic work, is to give someone a restaurant-made meal. It's a little bit like it's a show of appreciation, and it's a form of self-care for the people who are working so incredibly hard. Is that true?
It is. I mean, you read the stories on there, and there's this one story that really struck me, and it was this gal, and she was the anesthesiologist, and she would say, as she would go in to put someone under, and they would be intubated, they would look into her eyes, and they would have no family around, because that's the protocol now, right? No one can be there. And she's like, I'm going to cry talking about it. They would look into her eyes, and she realizes she might be the last person they see. And they look knowing that they may never wake up. I think you have a 60% chance of waking up is the ratio. And to me, I just envisioned that, and I thought, if she is hungry, and what if that was like my father who was in the hospital, And the last person is this person, and they're so hungry, they barely can stand, let alone give love. And she says, but I just look into their eyes and I squeeze their hand, and you could just feel her outpouring of love. And she wasn't even asking for meals. She said, I just want your prayer. I don't need meals, but I just need your prayers. And I typically don't go out of order on our Facebook page, but I messaged her directly. I said, I've got to send you a meal, because she was just breaking my heart. And we got a meal out to them last night. It was great. But to me, that's what speaks to me every single time. And I read our Facebook stories every single day. These are real people who are there. They're being there for our family, our friends. And the least we can do is give them a meal so that they can really be 100% and be able to give 100%.
That's so beautiful. And one of the things that means so much to me is that this is in many ways an outgrowth of your faith and based in your own Christian walk. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, I have to say, God has never used me quite this much. I kind of, when we found out we were all going to be staying in our homes, and I did what I call the dangerous prayer. I just said, you know what, God, I feel I want to be able to help. I don't know how I'm going to be able to help. And I just said, use me in any way you can. Just whatever that looks like. I don't know, but just use me. And I'm just going to try to follow your command on this. And it was amazing how it all came about, because suddenly, I heard about this idea and I shared it with some friends, and we all jumped into it. And the first day we had already raised $2,400, and our Facebook group is now, in the first 2 weeks, we raised over $100,000. We're up to almost 20,000 members. We are, we fed over 12,000 meals. I think it's just insane, the numbers. And that's so God. I mean, that's just, that whole, I feel kind of, Paul, I would say, faith without actions isn't really anything. We're able to get food to people and do something and make a difference, but it can never be that scale. Like, it's not just a person to me. I mean, I feel like that's just, the Holy Spirit, he's just moving through and creating miracles. And it's such a privilege to be part of this and to feel that, just to feel God moving through you and to know you're helping people. It's pretty amazing.
Well, we are so grateful to hear that story, and we hope that we can be your partners in this. And so one of the things I'd like to suggest that we do is this coming Easter weekend, we are going to have a matching gift opportunity for our congregation. We're going to put up $5,000 of money that we had already dedicated to outreach, that we now are trying to find some channels for spending. And we're going to invite the congregation to make a donation that will balance that and match that $5,000 gift. We'll match it dollar to dollar, whatever you give, up to $5,000. And so that our hope is that we'll at least give you $10,000 this weekend, this Easter, because from my perspective, what Flag is doing is it's bearing witness to the resurrection. And we are messengers and witnesses to the resurrection. What you are doing, in my mind, Monica, is you're a little bit like the angel by the empty tomb who tells the visitors, he is not here. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth. He is not here. He has been raised. So thank you for being such an incredible witness to the resurrection. And we will be praying for you. And if there's anything that we can do in the coming days and weeks as we go through this pandemic together, please call upon us at Christ Church Cranbrook.
Thank you so much. Your prayers, join the Facebook group and praying for the people in there. That is great. It really, helping us spread the word is such a wonderful thing, because I really do feel it's a way that people can find to give back, and you find a purpose and you find a connection, and you hands on your back, right? Hands on the back of the front lines and hands on each other's back. And if we're all lifting each other up, I always say it's really hard to focus inward when you're focusing outward. So finding a way to be focusing outward and find that light amid the dark, that's a powerful thing.
Well, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. You too.